Tom Walther from Mobilière. Tom did physics. It seems to be a pattern today, even so that had nothing to do with the selection. But of course, we bonded very quickly on that topic. By the way, if you are interested in climate models, Tom has all of that, been there, done that. So if you have questions, feel free to talk to him. But today, Tom is head of AI, data and AI at the Mobiliar. And he will talk about how he brings all the facts together to drive innovation and business cases. Tom, thanks so much to be here. Welcome.
So thanks a lot. It's very nice to be here actually and talk to you guys. I'm a little bit surprised that there's so many people here. Maybe it's because Michel Neuhaus is still written here on the door, so it's very nice to have so much people here. Good, I want to talk about our journey, our data and AI journey, which we started 7 years ago in the Mobilière. It was quite a journey. And for this one, I chose this first slide. It's very nice with the climate change thought about the dinosaur. But I showed this to a colleague of mine a few days ago, and he said, okay, yeah, that's nice. It's a Mobiliar style, everything good, the joke. But the thing is, there's maybe the potential of a misunderstanding here because the Swiss Mobiliar is 200 years old. It's really old, and you can think about this Tyrannosaurus there is maybe the Mobiliar, and then you see this sparkling dog over there. It's maybe the data and analytics department, and look at this, what is the dog doing? He destroys the 200 years old Mobiliar. It's maybe not that what I want to deliver. So thanks God we have AI and Gen AI in particular now in place. So what I did actually, I prompted in this whole scene, and this was actually what came out of the Gen AI generator. I like it very much because it looks friendly, and you can see the dog is feeding very friendly the dinosaur. A little bit thing with the food. It's the bone of the dinosaur. But anyway, good. I will talk about the how today. Okay. So the why we're on journey. I think we have talked a lot over the past years about that. The what, we actually have Markus here in the room. He's over there. He will talk in 1 hour about the what we do in Swiss Mobiliar in this field, and I will talk about the how. And I hope we will get through in the time. Good. Actually, we collected over these past years some success factors in data value creation. So one is data analytics needs interdisciplinary teams. We have, on the other hand side, the platforms that is not just about AI, just about IT, and building a data-driven culture by upskilling the whole organization. These are just, let's say, the main key success factors. And now you have to combine them and form a strategy. We did that also a few years ago. You have to have a data and AI strategy in the company. And when you align this strategy with the business strategy, we think and we also prove that then you really have the transformation of a data value creation within the company. It's not the little dog anymore. It's not someone is barking there, do a little bit of innovation. It's really on a strategic level set up. Good. When you look at this strategy, just really in a nutshell, very quick, we have on the one hand side the external drivers with the digitalization. We have an increase in data availability. Secondly, the principles. This is also for us as an insurance company. I mean, trust is really a big thing. So we're handling data and also AI according to the values of Mobiliar. I think this is a very important one. The value creation itself, I will talk a little bit later about that. So how do you start with the input and how you get to the output? And then on the other hand, of course, the value itself. So it has to have an added value to the customer or to the employees in the end. Don't forget always, also in these times, about the governance and the data security and protection. So, and everything, and also the strategy and what we do underlines this one. We want to have a data-driven value creation at scale. I will come to that later on. I think this is the main thing in the strategy, what drives us every day. Good. When we look at the process in the Agile framework, so how we work together in this Agile framework, we have an interdisciplinary team, as I said before. So business, IT, data science, we form up these interdisciplinary teams. In the beginning, we always have a question or optimization ID, an innovation ID, and then we have a common understanding of the what we want to do. We have some sort of data preparation. Then we go up to the POC. We want to find out how it really works. And then we end up at the MVP stage. And this MVP is really important for us in Mobiliar because then we start really with the testing and the validation with the business. And then the whole iteration circle will start. We go back to the business, we discuss with them, and so on and so on. And in the end, when we have finally something that we say, okay, this fulfills all the requirements that we need, we then have the action get into production. For sure, we measure also the success and the value in the end of these kind of technologies. So there's one principle how we do that in the Mobiliar, and this is really the good testing and validation is within the company. And when we are sure and we have a good feeling about what we're doing and also about the value of it, then we bring it out to the customer. This is the principle 1. This leads us also to the principle 2, especially in Swiss Mobiliar. Don't mess around with the brand, because it's not for everyone, maybe in the room, only for those who have already an amazing brand, but you have to be aware of that and don't mess around with it. Okay, so a wise man once said, having an architecture is not the same as having a strategy. You have any clue who this quote is from? Maybe? No clue? Okay. It's from my former boss. It's from Sharon Kohler. Maybe you know him. And so why does he came up with such a glance of inspiration? We had been on a journey for the data platforms, Sharon, I, and also the whole department. And we started in 2017, where we built up a data market, or not we try to build up a data market. How we bring in the data, how we measure it, how we can really increase the whole value and stuff like this. But in the end, it was so complicated. Technology was not ready at all to fulfill everything. We failed. Then 3 years later, we thought, okay, we have to go into streaming. We have Kafka pipelines. We build topics, topics. Everyone understand what it is. Really nice. So from the seller in the IT to the business, everyone knows what we're talking about. The data, yes, it was data, was streaming, near time flowing through Kafka, but information, no. It was not about information. We did not arrive this stage, and the value itself, also not. So we failed again. And today, it's the time of data mesh, okay? So let me give you an example, a very easy example about data mesh, and I will do a short example with carrots. Because carrots are seasonal and local, and this is also something we care a lot about in the Swiss Mobiliar. So looking at carrots, we collect them in the fields. We can collect them, the raw data. We can then slice and dice them. Maybe also give some good things about, okay, what is it about? How is the quality? Where does it come from? What is the Nutri-Score? And so on. So everyone knows what it is, actually the product that you're selling and the product that you get in the store. And the nice thing is, in the store, left and right, there are other products like oil, like vinegar, like salt, like pepper. And if you combine all these products, you can get new products, even new products. So you have some kind of value chain with all these data products. So the question now is, but why do we think now that we really arrive at this point where we have the information, we have the value out of this kind of data pipelines? So first of all, we have a strategy. We know that we want to have something that we can scale up after. This is very important. Secondly, we try to work really, really close with the IT architecture. We try. And the third point is, and this is really also important, that we want to bridge the gap between the producer and the consumer of the product. Third point is, we know that our business loves salad. We know it, huh? Okay, so when we go to this point, this is maybe something that is also familiar to you all. When we do some data and AI cases, we always arrive at the point, or mainly arrive at the point where we have the decision, do we invest in getting the goals, the committed goals maybe of a use case, or do I invest in the whole sustainable solution and also the maturity? And I think this is something that drives us over the last years a lot, and we had a lot thoughts about that, and also a lot of discussions about that problem. And when I compare it, it's a little bit the same as hanging up a picture on the wall. I mean, if I have 1 or 2 pictures at home, I can use a tool like a hammer, like a nail. I have some skills, maybe I don't look like this, but I have some skills in hanging up a picture at the wall. I mean, it would be okay, it would be nice, and I also can deliver the value fast because the picture then is hanging up the wall. But what shall I do if I have hundreds of pictures or thousands of pictures? Then maybe I have to think, do I have to invest in better tools, invest in maybe in the skills, upskill myself? So this is really the point, and I think with our strategy, we have the answer in the Swiss Mobiliar. I think a lot of decisions there when you're standing at the crossroads within these processes, we really give the whole maturity a really value. So it's not only the value of the use case capped itself, but it's also the maturity that matters a lot. We really want to get this whole thing upscaled. Okay. Good, so this was nice. Where's the timekeeper actually? Oh, you're the timekeeper. Okay, everything green so far, very nice. So what you heard now till now was, is really nice. It's a data and AI journey. But then, like 1.5 years ago, there was this wave. There was this wave of Gen AI, coming in and hitting us all, society, the company, data science, everything. And now I'm going to show you just in one slide how we managed to actually surf this wave. Because I think, and I also see a lot of smiling faces now here, I mean, it's quite a nice time to work in this field, I think. I mean, everyone talks about it. It's really, really nice. Huh? What we did in Mobiliar is we formed up an internally group because, I mean, it was really, really big and we had to also manage through the whole topic. So we formed up a group, and this was actually a board decision. Also, our CEO is a big promoter of that. So we have around 40 members everywhere from the company, from the departments, also from the general agency, from the sales. So a really, really bright company group. And then we have 4 work streams where we work on. First is the whole topic about the information, because I remember the time, I mean, it was a really strange situation because you had a lot of information coming from the media, you had a lot of information internally, you had all the skeptic wave that is coming and telling everything. So we had to line up the whole information that it's clear what we in the company understand about Gen AI and what is right and what is wrong. Then for sure the use cases, because I mean, there had been all these fantastic management leader slide where you say, okay, we have Gen AI, we don't need half of the company anymore to work with us. I mean, Gen AI can do quite everything. So we had to look at it, okay, where are actually the use cases? Huh? And we collected a lot of use cases, clustered it and boiled it down. Then, of course, the upskilling. I think this is something very, very important in the end. You can have Gen AI, we in Mobiliar, we have Mobi ChatGPT, so everyone can use it in a really secure and good environment with the data protection. But actually, to have the possibility to use it and really use it, I think this has mainly to do with the topic of upskilling, and we invested a lot in this topic over the last past years. Huh? And then fourth, we have to have the playground to have deployments and also work on POCs to actually take this technology and look what is possible. I'm sure that Amir of AXA is sitting over there. He will talk more about this topic later. Good. So actually, when we boil the whole thing down, I think this is what comes out. My advice to you all is really to invest in the maturity of the discipline and to really focus on what you want and not what you can do. I think this is really, really important in times like this. And talking about not only as a head of digital analytics and of my department, but also a little bit of the Swiss Mobilière, it's human is always at the center. AI is an enabler. This is for us as an insurance company really, really important, and this is a principle we follow daily. Good. So maybe there are now some questions. I have one question that maybe pops up or is in your head already. Why the hell does this guy choose the carrots and not maybe other vegetables to really make the bridge to data mesh? It's very easy to answer this question. It's just because the carrots, the season, to make it seasonal is every year. So I can reproduce and reuse the story and even the slides through all the year. That's it, the reason. Okay, merci vielmals and have a nice day.
Questions in the room? Yes, many.
Thank you very much for sharing. I just have a question. You were talking about use cases, that you were collecting use cases. How do you do this? Because you are head of data and analytics, I guess, and you have salespeople. I mean, they also need to have the mindset to think in use cases which could be relevant with AI. So how did you do that?
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks a lot. And you're totally right. I'm the head of data and analytics in Swiss Mobiliar. Your guess is totally right. So the thing is really we do it in two ways. One is really through showing what is possible. So we go out to the general agencies, we go to other departments, so we talk a lot to the people, we show them cases. And this is really good, I think, for the inspiration also to think and rethink maybe about your own situation and your own processes. This is one. But then what I said with the upskilling, this is really part of the strategy. We invested a lot in this topic. So we formed up a whole upskilling program through different levels. So from, let's say, from the CEO down to the IT or don't know, like a sales guy or whatever. So we had really some kind of groups where we then do the upskilling program, and there we had some really things where we collected the use cases. So we worked together in workshops, and then we collected use cases and we guide them also a little bit in the IT. So these are mainly two things. Particularly with Gen AI, this was one reason we formed really the group. So we brought in everyone from the other department, and then also discuss a little bit. So you also can see what are the thoughts of the other ones in the group, and then you also can make the process there. Yeah. Is that answering your question? Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Thank you for the presentation. Very interesting. I have a question on that timeline you showed. You started with the data mart, it failed. You went to Kafka, failed. Now you're at the data mesh stage. How do you measure success? And maybe more importantly, how do you make sure it's not going to fail again?
Okay, yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot for the question. How much time do we have left? Okay. This is a nice question. I think measure how we're going to fail, this is really easy to answer, because in the end it's all about adoption. We have this 200-year-old dinosaur company and a lot of legacy. So we have some goals where we want to end up with the whole data value creation, and this is really, really easy to see if we fail again or not. So I can say, because I was 2017 also there, so we felt it very, very fast that we failed. Okay, but how we in the end measure the value? This is really something that is not, let's say, we don't have the 100%, or I don't have the 100% answer to you. For us, it's really important that we now see we have the capability, we have the platforms with the cloud. So this is something for us. It's with the cloud strategy. It's clear that we want to push everything in the cloud. But actually, how we then work together and how we set up the whole concept of data mesh within the cloud, there are also some discussion how we do it. I mean, the concept is data mesh. It's really like the buzzword. But now it's really like the devil is really in the detail, how you do it. And I'm sure we have there some metrics where we measure. One is for sure the whole scaling. So how many use cases and how many value we can or we are able to deliver. This is one. And the other one is also the availability just for data itself. So also for information and all the stuff. So I think this is all, it goes a little bit in the self-service. I think this is a hard word for me, so I put not in because this end-to-end data delivery pipelines with self-service, for me it's a little bit, I have some issues with that word, but to reuse it again, yeah, it's a little bit about that. Yeah. Is that okay? Maybe later on, yeah. Okay.
One more question.
One more, yes.
Thank you.
What is the O about?
Vielleicht
okay.
machen wir den doch noch zwei.
I thought the O was about like okay. No, okay.
Thank you for the presentation from my side too. I appreciate also the light-hearted tone of it. That's exactly what I needed after lunch. Great one.
Thanks.
Could you be a bit more specific about the upskilling? So what exactly do you do? What programs? What experts?
Yep.
Courses? External cooperations?
Yep.
Stuff like that. Thank you.
Okay. So we formed up it. So we have one. I have a person in my department who is responsible for the whole program. And she started 3 years ago, and we form up the whole program together with our HR department. I think this is something that is also important for a company like us. It's not we come and do some kind of upskilling on the side, but we like do it with the whole other upscaling programs that exist in the company. And then we formed up like these modules. We started with one, did it in a pilot. I think it was the architecture. So we thought around what information and how would such an upskilling module look like for the target group for architecture, and we did a pilot, and then we had some informations around that. We collected some feedbacks, and with this kind of feedback we then went out in the market, because then we know a little bit more about the requirements, what we want actually to do with this kind of module. We go into the market and we look what is there. I cannot say actually what we decided then, which company. Maybe you work in such field, then we can have a chat after. No. And then we took it, but made, let's say, a little bit the Mobiliar finish, because we have a lot of expertise in our groups also. And I think when it comes to upskilling in such a field, to really transport the messages proper, I think it's better, or it's a good way to actually have the own people who speak about that. Maybe it's better to, let's say, drive the transformation from inside the company, and not only have experts who are the best experts from Google and Facebook and whatever who talk about this, So this was a little bit the thing. So we took programs that exist, and we did the Mobiliar twist. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Hey, thanks a lot. Merci.